What video game was 100% amazing from start to finish? Age of Empires 2nd. I'm so happy about the comeback this game has made. God bless T90. Also thanks to Microsoft for making a perfect remaster. Comeback? It never left. Been playing since 1999 baby. A Link to the Past. Favorite game of all time. Love starting this one over every couple of years. It's incredible. Escape from Monkey Island. That game was my childhood. Day of the Tentacle was my jam. Batman, Arkham City. I played that game at least 10 times. Kotor 1 and Kotor 2. I can't agree on Kotor 2 from start to finish. It's an amazing game, but I would rather do Terrace 50 times than Paragus ever again. Cue endless mining droid sounds. Command and Conquer Red Alert. Conscript reporting. Kirov's reporting. Just so iconic. That's Red Alert 2. Not 1. Red Dead Redemption. There was nothing like it when it came out. I still play it to this day. The story is incredible and the views are beautiful. A totally immersive gaming experience. The part when you cross over into Mexico for the first time and the Jose Gonzalez track plays is unforgettable. I've replayed it a few times just to get to that moment. Diablo 2. Such an amazing game. I still hold the itemization as a staple to any game now. The 1.10 patch, I think. Uniques were so rare and legendary if you found one. Windforce was a myth. I had a 99 Amazon ladder. Found a Windforce in a Hellcow run. It dropped and the Sorko I was running with didn't see it. To this day the highest my heart rate had probably ever been. Subnautica. Dude, I just jumped into that game totally blind a couple weeks ago. Thinking like this looks like a fun crafting game. Oh man, I wasn't ready for how amazing and terrifying that game is. Nobody forgets their first Reaper. Holy hell, I was not ready for it. No, never is. I was scouting round the mountain island when I heard the roar. Run away into the Reaper. Rip lol. Halo 2. Post-credit cutscene hyped every gamer who played that. Honestly, the saga of C-2-3-odd Street are all honors in games. I'm sure there are technically bad parts, but there isn't one of those I wouldn't want to sit down and play through on heroic at any time. They're incredible. The Pillar of Autumn in Reach was one of the best missions I've ever played in that series. There wasn't an actual timer on the mission, but you really felt how urgent it was to haul ass to the ship, and the whole way there was filled with great set pieces for fights. Such a good mission. I also loved that you fought every species of the Covenant in that mission. It made it feel very final and epic. Kotor. Mucha Shaka Paka. Bloodborne. Easily the most interesting world in the Souls series. Combat feels incredible. Enemy design is top notch. The hard left turn into lava craftion cosmic horror was a great twist. Tons of unique weapons. I bought my PS4 solely for Bloodborne, and it was absolutely worth it. I was looking for a fellow hunter. Literally obsessed with this game lately. I just picked up the Old Hunters DLC, and I'm loving it. I may have been slaughtered by Ludwig, but his time is coming. The Old Hunters is the best DLC ever. So much content with some of the best and hardest bosses. Expanded lore and cool weapons. Quick question. Did you have to look up how to access the DLC? Cause I sure as heck did. Not exactly obvious. Lego Star Wars, the complete saga. It made playing through the prequel movies actually fun. Amazing retelling of the original saga through grunts. The first Tomb Raider. In 1996, that level of immersivity and control of the environment was just crazy. Literally a game changer. Yeah. The first Tomb Raider is amazing. The opening music menu screen gets me every time. I played through the anniversary and enjoyed it, but something about the aged graphics of the past let your imagination still flourish. Honorable mention to the reboot back in 2013. Great but not a game changer. I bought the 2013 reboot for $2 and was blown away at how good it was. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Best game soundtrack ever. Majora's Mask and Diablo 2. Battle.net was life for a long while. Majora's Mask was an emotional roller coaster. Played it and Ocarina of Time for the first time when I was 20, so it wasn't clouded by nostalgia. and yet I loved every second of both those games. Metal Gear Solid MGS3 is a top 10 game of all time. It meets the criteria of perfection. MGS3 sticks out to me as well. The camo and eating was something that was very impressive to me. Also lots of memorable characters. Dragon Age Origins. An absolute fantastic game I would recommend to anyone. Definitely one of my top 5 games. The fade after your first time though. There's a reason the mod to remove it is so popular. I couldn't get through the fade with my first badly built dwarf warrior. I was absolutely helpless without companions and out of potions. So I got the mod. Then Resepk. Then a few dozen more mods. Then I started to make mods XD. I did the fade properly exactly once. With a really OP mage. Combat was not an issue. Nothing is a challenge in this game anymore after 10 plus runs. But the stupid maze. Ugh. Prince of Persia. Sands of Time. Mass Effect 2. Chrono Trigger. Oh man, Sands of Time was a big part of my childhood. Fucking wall running sequences with over 40 steps. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Doom 2016 is pretty solid, too. It has an exceptional soundtrack as well. Doom 2016 has to be the best reboot of a series ever. I feel like usually these big franchises get more tired and just slowly fade away. It's shocking how different and how awesome the new Doom games are. What's great is that it managed to modernize the 90s high-octane shooter without resorting to many of the tired tropes we see in current-day shooters. It's both retro and new at the same time. Many games promise that. Few deliver on it to that degree. Seriously. This is why I absolutely love Doom Eternal Slayer Gates. To unlock them, you gotta go find a hidden key. Then beat these super hard-ass levels. There's about 8 of them, and one of them have like 2 Barons of Hells. After you go through the whole campaign completing every challenge, you unlock the Unmaker. It's a super badass demon weapon that kills everything in sight. I mean, do you remember that? You remember unlocking ship for just playing the game and doing hidden challenges. Beautiful. Dude, yes. Some of those gates took so many tries, but each time was an absolute rush. So good. Titanfall 2. Everybody gangster until BT says Protocol 3. Protect the pilot. Too soon. It'll never not be too soon. Divinity. Original Sin 2. I wish I could forget it all, so I can play it again. God yes. I have played through this game so many times using different characters and strategies. Truly a fantastic journey every time. My husband and I once played through together and killed literally every Oni except pets unless we had to leave them alive for quest/story. It was so freeing and exciting. And by the time we reached the end, we were both so ridiculously OP that we just showered the final bosses in raining death and arrows. Glorious. Also archers are sick as fuck, and fire elemental mages will wreck every own's ship, including your own. I love the surface system so much. Truly a piece of brilliant game design. There are so many ways you can generate strategies and synergies just because of the surface system. The game would be great regardless, but it's just so good. I also like teleporting NPCs out of the way so they don't interfere with the fights. The ones in the black pits were really frustrating until we stumbled on that little technique. The Elder Scrolls Part 3 Morrowind especially. I still get real joy out of Skyrim. I played Oblivion but none of the other games tbh. Even though it has been memed to hell, the opening of Skyrim still manages to take my breath away, even when Alduin is replaced by Thomas the Tank Engine. God, I love Oblivion so much. Used to get anxiety in school because I was so excited to go play Oblivion when I got home. The Stanley Parable, with Finish being a little fussy. Dishonored. Second was solid but less than 100%. Planescape, Torment, Kami, Mario Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2 and Odyssey. Man. 3D Mario is tight. Portals 1 and 2. Mass Effect S1 and 2. Third was alright. Most Tim Schafer games qualify with Grim Fandango at the top. Witcher 3, 1, and 2 were solid. But 3 is something else. BOTW. Star Control 2, 8-bit masterpiece. Cotter, second was good too. Another vote for Planescape, Torment. That story and those characters were the best I've ever experienced. Super Mario RPG. It was the first game that introduced me into the RPG world and the first game that I fell in love with the story. I know Paper Mario is supposed to be a spiritual successor, but what I wouldn't give to have an actual Mario RPG too. Hell yeah. I've always imagined a new adventure with new bad guys, exploring Star Road, and seeing Mallow and Gino return. Just epic. This is all I've ever wanted since I was like 8 years old. Same. That was the first 3D game that I ever played, and it was magical. Ocarina of Time, Bioshock, Horizon Zero Dawn, Metroid Prime, Dead Space, in no particular order. Metroid Prime is so slept on. Echoes especially Imo. I'm the only one of my friends who has played any of them. TF is that my guy. It was a near perfect game in my book. Absolutely gorgeous what they got out of GamerCube hardware. And one hell of a soundtrack. That soundtrack definitely shaped my taste in music as an adult. It was and is still so damn good. Chrono Trigger. I still remember the feeling I got seeing the Millennial Fair in the opening prologue, and then the excitement of chasing down all the endings. Agreed 100%. Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. Uncharted 2 and 4 are among my Mount Rushmore of games. Or maybe I really just like my Sherpa. Dude. Walking through the epilogue of Uncharted 4 might be my favorite video game experience ever. Ratchet and Clank. What a great series overall. I absolutely love these games. Up Your Arsenal and Going Commando were my favorites. Dang. I put away too much of my life into Going Commando. Thanks for reminding me of some good times. Knights of the Old Republic. I love the game. But those underwater man missions and that slow suit drove me nuts. You can actually pop force speed just before going through the door and you'll be speedy in your underwater suit. Oh damn. Might have to reinstall now. Thanks. Super Metroid deserves a top 5 spot. Disco Elysium is an incredible game. You can die of a heart attack with minutes of starting. You have conversations with your skills. You can search for cryptids. And the whole world of the game basically operates as a geographical extension of the protagonist's fractured psyche. I played as a communist superstar art cop, and it was glorious. Fallout New Vegas. With a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his yibe. I had a weird desire to listen to that song through my pregnancy. My son's taste in music is gonna be interesting to see develop. Half-Life. Black Mesa Remake is fucking amazing. And it recently hit its 1.0 release, didn't it? Yeah, a few months ago. Wow, that's insane. I remember playing that game about 6 or so years ago when it was completely done besides the very last level that I had to load a custom save on the OG game to be able to finish. Super Mario Bros. 3. No boring levels. No dull fetch quests. No tedious tutorials. Just perfection the whole way through. Best Mario game ever made. Even the friction between Mario and the floor felt perfect. Super Mario World might have the most content, but mechanically, SMB3 has no contender. Super Mario Galaxy. Chef Kiss. Halo 3. Custom games in Halo 3 were my first ever online gaming experience. I miss those days. For real. Made so many friends by just hoping from custom games. Loved playing Griffball. Forge and Theater mode were pretty amazing back then too. I love everything about GTA Vice City. From the opening scene when you're introduced to the main characters, Tommy Vercetti being my all-time favorite protagonist, to the setting of 1986 Miami, the story and all the missions, and the music. I could be listening to Billie Jean while shooting gang members out of a helicopter. I was thinking about Vice City, but then I remembered the Demolition Man mission, the one with the RC helicopter. Dude, duck that mission. I have not completed it to this day. Portal. Just felt like the entire game was a compact, flawless experience that didn't overstay its welcome. You could say that. This was a triumph. You're making a note there? Huge success. I mean, it's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture Science, we do what we must, because we can. Replayed Dishonored recently, I think it still holds up well. Mass Effect 2. I was at home after surgery a few weeks and played straight through the trilogy. Great times. But if I ever replay it would feel weird unless I got Shepard exactly right. Pale bald ginger beard violet eyes. I never changed Shepard to be honest. I really liked default model and didn't want to change him in any game. I played first one and transported saves to second and then third one. Hollow Knight. Sleeping Dogs. The wedding scene has been etched in my mind ever since. Best mission hands down. Especially because you did missions to build up the wedding. Terraria. What the queer they smoking when they designed the Moon Lord though? They rolled up a stack of pages from an H.P. Lovecraft novel. Naturally. For me it's gotta be The Last of Us 1. Amazing writing. Amazing characters and a rich and detailed world. Was hooked from the opening scene. Had to scroll so far down to find this autumn to winter cutscene. That is all. Now, dude, the Dakingaraths. Shadow of the Colossus. The re-release of this game on PS4 is absolutely gorgeous too. Made one of my favorite games even better. Legend of Zelda Bot W. Uncharted. My only complaint with Bot was how easy the boss fights are. Honestly the Linnels were harder than Calamity Ganon. Thunderblight is a major exception. Portal 2. Earthbound. Edit. Thanks for the Silver Stranger. It's my first, and you just made my day. Hums the 8 melodies. Sure M3 is a masterpiece, but I think Mother 2 is just way more fun. Even if the combat is less fleshed out. Ori and the Blind Forest and its sequel Ori and the Will of the Wisps absolutely phenomenal masterpiece, which does not only have a magnificent soundtrack, but also a breathtaking art direction. Cute characters, fun and fast gameplay and a sad, yet beautiful story for both games. Can only recommend checking out. Imo a hidden gem. Some of my top games too. Really enjoyed them so much, even though they were trickier than I ever imagined. BioShock. Immersive story, fun gameplay, the whole package. Wrench only playthrough FTW. There are guns, exclamation mark, question mark. Yeah but you need to save all the ammo for them just in case. Better stick with using the wrench. I'm sure something will come up requiring all this ammo. Oops. Game's over. It'll for sure need this tripwire mine for the engine. We'll say that it was fun as duck dripping a shit ton of tripwires on a big daddy's path and watching them get shredded in seconds. Halo Reach. No matter how well you do the game always makes you feel like you're going up against something unbeatable. I've always been a sucker for a last stand story, and Reach probably had the best one of any game I've ever played. The whole Objective Omega, survive thing at the end, hit me like a truck the first time I played it. I'm playing through Persona 5 RN, and I absolutely love it. Amazing game with an interesting story. Edit, changed word. Had to scroll way too far for this. Just cleared 103 hours on my first playthrough and still haven't completed the storyline. You're farther than I am. I just passed Futiba's Palace. Tetris. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Edit, for the people reacting to my comment saying the water temple was broken and horrible. I loved how challenging it was. In a frustrating tormenting kind of way lol. Batman Arkham Asylum and City. Just bought them after seeing your comment. $15 for PS4. You got a hell of a deal there my man. Two of the greatest games ever made. Resident Evil 4. Subnautica. Love this game. I'm in the early access of Subnautica, Below Zero. Also fun. But something is missing. Totally agree. Not sure what it is. But it feels empty. Have you considered that it's the sense of loneliness and desperation on being entirely removed from the game? Alter and knowing where you are to help at all times. Constantly talking to your sister. You are never alone. Just FYI Bug Thief completely reworked the story so that's not really a thing anymore. Some spots definitely feel more terrifying than the original though. Super Mario Galaxy. Rumors of a Switch port soon. Can't wait. Don't do that. Don't give me hope. Outer Wilds. I finished that game a month ago, and I cannot stop thinking about it. It was a masterful work in both a technical and emotional sense. I want to play the other games in my Steam library, but I keep coming back to Outer Wilds, even though I finished it. Easily my favorite game of all time. Anyone who sees this, I beg you to play Outer Wilds. You will not regret it. Please do not look up anything else about the game. Go in blind. It's just such a unique and complete experience. It's hard to describe how melancholy yet hopeful the game leaves you feeling. I'm not ashamed to say I shed a little tear at the end. No other game makes me want to just sit and watch the sunset like in Outer Wilds. Metro 2033. Ah man. When I was a teen, Transformers War for Cybertron was fun as hell. Online co-op was endless fun. Nier Automata. I never realized just how beautiful this world is. Mirror's Edge. This game does not get enough love for how unique and well done it was. PS4 Spider-Man. Story is awesome. Boss battles are challenging. So many side missions. Graphics are on point. And so many cool fighting moves. I literally just 100% completed it. Not just the story, I mean 100% in every district. God of War 2018. Edit. All I can say is that some people have a different opinion than me on this, and it hurts a little bit. Boy. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Pokemon Red/Blue. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.